exactly do it justice. Certainly you wouldn't want to be in that scenario. So now, I think I really want to look at the new Paradigm side because they just have so much to play for. And for Monster Shield, they are still the expected winner. They are still the favorites.
2 right, and ooh, new Paradigm. I take it back, the dive. We are going to see it come out here from New Paradigm. Monster Shield Korea more in line with what we might have thought there. McCree and the Hanzo are going to try and help them take control of the high ground first up.
Taking control is going to be Iron, but the control gets taken away from him almost as quickly. The boop off the side as well. A lot of environmental action to start things off on this map. Don't see that every single day, but it's been pretty even action as the point's about to unlock in 2 seconds. And Monster Shield now coming up the slightly better end of that trade.
Oh,
can they continue that? Because Hojin Ho actually did catch a kill on the Mercy.
Yeah, the Perfect, he tried to get that flashbang, but I think it sort of got lost mid-blink, and as a result, the kill goes down to the Mercy, and New Paradigm are going to be able to find out that first cat. We saw Monster Shield. They wanted to contest the high ground, but that's so risky when you've got a Lucio on the other team who can just boop you straight off. They lose their main tank.
It was just so tricky as well. I mean, both teams had very even trades. It appeared that Perfect and Lee Jae-gon were going to get the better end of it, but a lot of Hojin Ho's got something to say. Monster Shield trying to push in. Currently losing Perfect early on. That's a lot of their damage gone. It signaled the call for New Paradigm to get in deep with that dive. You start to see the ultimates coming into play as well. This is a heavy win for New Paradigm.
This is very impressive, especially against this brawling comp here coming out from Monster Shield Korea, and they've had enough of it. They're going to switch onto the dive themselves. This is quite the change up from Monster Shield. So no tank ultimates will be online for them for quite some time. They're going to have to deal with a pulse bomb here coming out from Hojun Ho, who's waiting, lying in wait.
Triple blink away though, so he's not too keen to get things started, at least not yet. It's going to give some space for MSK to work with as they now do look for their own dive. And first though comes Frost, Iron with the Dragon Blade as well. What can he find? This is going to be incredibly important for New Paradigm to continue this hold of the cap. More than 60% already going in their favor. Perfect, not even going to get a chance to use his Deadeye. Now getting the Resurrection to play. Might be able to channel it rather straight away if he can sort of find the angle. But I think the damage may have been done already in New Paradigm. Just coming up with the kills.
Yeah, they have got them shoved off the point at the moment. However, Crazy is going to blow the rally after having such a great effort there. He got quite a few kills backing off, never actually managed to die and held that front line for Monster Shield. Korea still continuing to help that. He's now onto the middle of the point, and he's so hard for a Tracer to deal with a Brigitte. You blink away, bad luck, whip shot in your face.
That's Monster Shield now claiming that cap back at 99% in New Paradigm's favor. HVK with the mech reset as well. It's taken some time for Monster Shield to get in here, but eventually they do, and Crazy had to really take control himself there, find the kill and shut down Hojin Ho, who's been the main factor for New Paradigm.
It was just really a massive effort from him, right? And Iron, or even on the Dragon Blade, you saw him trying to get above Crazy because obviously you can't shield bash upwards, but he was just so scared of that happening to him that he couldn't confirm the kill, and he turned it around.
Well, let's take a look at this now, because it's going to be Dragon Blade followed by Sound Barrier, or is it the other way around? Doesn't quite matter for New Paradigm, because 2 kills coming through makes all the difference for this team, and not a single trade back, there's not a single return killed, and Nev going to throw out the Primal Rage. And if you're asking why, it's because Monster Shield technically can't afford to lose this. If they lose this fight, it goes over to New Paradigm. They're at 99%. They're going to finish it. They're going to win universally if Monster Shield cannot come back.
Yeah, and they've got a whole bunch of ultimates to help them do it. Unfortunately, Velvet's not going to be using his here. We do see him all the way at the back with the Transcendence. And Beppo is trying to get Monster Shield Korea back onto this point with a double kill, one with the Helix Rocket. Oh, what a turnaround. Crazy as well, coming out with the Doomfist. Just when it counts, Monster Shield and Nev, that Primal Rage ended up being the turning point. He stalled the point up long enough to allow for the respawners to come in. Beppo even has time after this fight to go back to spawn, come back out as a Moira. They've successfully reset, and they maintain a good composition. This is actually very good for Monster Shield, but they have a lot of room now to, well, they don't have a lot of room to play with because the time is running out. Look at the percentage. Yeah, Doomfist Tracer. I don't know if I'd say it's the most ideal composition as they lose the Doomfist immediately. Maybe Crazy's not his best pick here. We do see the Pulse Bomb going in. That's not even going to find Inev as he gets taken down by the boosters from Merit. And New Paradigm looking to turn this around just as quickly as they lost the last fight.
And that's going to go sour quite quickly. Monster Shield Korea, no more members realistically. Have a couple that are going to attempt to come onto this point, but seems like stalling. Seems just like inevitable that they will get bumped off. Hojin Ho's alive, and he's ready to go. The action all in his favor. His gun's hot and blazing. New Paradigm currently, there's a bit of a turnaround though. Crazy can get more. Is this really happening? Is Monster Shield really bringing this back?
New Paradigm, they don't want that to happen. Heinz Dragon Blade will end the Tracer's life, and once again, he gets rebuffed from that second one. So Lee J. Gon manages to stay alive for the moment. A great little combo there from the Lucio. Takes out the Tracer, and now he's got the sound barrier as well. It hits it onto only 3 members though for Monster Shield Korea.
But it will be 3 members that will be enough for them to hold on. Unbelievable. Monster Shield Korea, that's twice now they've clutched through. Twice. Well, you expect them to lose a team fight, and for New Paradigm to continue the cap, to finish the cap, to win University. It just hasn't happened. Now it might not even happen. Monster Shield might win this.
Yeah, it's been a crazy game so far. People having to stay on a lot of picks they've used just to get back to the point in time. The Doomfist, the Tracer, we've seen them come out on both sides. Perfect's got the Pulse Bomb ready to go here. He throws it out.
It's not going to be good enough. There is going to be a D-Mech here, but it's the D-Mech going in favor of Monster Shield, who is so far behind for so long. Now coming back to effect. Double kill for Crazy. Can he find more? Meteor Strike, just like you said, lands on top of Froppy, crushes him to the ground. Hojin Ho, the hero from New Paradigm, attempting to bring it back around. Gets himself 2, but needs a lot more. Velvet set up on the high ground. Visor ready to go. Visor used. Visor looking for kills. Visor unable to find kills. And that's going to be it. And Nev pushing everyone off the Primal. Monster Shield Korea taking University, and that is only 1 stage of Oasis.
Saw how New Paradigm wanted to set up that last fight. They had the Soldier on the high ground sitting in his biotic field. As long as the Tracer is still contesting, he can rain down the damage from there. But a nice little tank ultimate comes out, and Nev uses the Primal Rage and ends that setup. So Monster Shield Korea with some very clutch moments there. That was a wild point.
They failed to, well, rather they just did not fail, I should probably say, to give that up. I mean, they absolutely had the perseverance to continue pushing in when it looked the most dire, when it was really starting to get out of hand. They kept themselves into the game, but now we start a new one.
Okay, Gardens. So Crazy. He's done so well on the Brigitte so far. He's going to stay on that here for Monster Shield Korea. But as we said, he can't shield bash upwards, so he's going to have to somehow find a way to deal with his Pharah and the Mercy.
He'll have to stick to shield bashing sideways, and that'll do for now.
Admin.
And for Monster Shield Korea, looking for entry. Merit looking for some picks onto the side as well. Iron going down as far as teammate. As the point opens up, you'd expect Monster Shield to begin capping this one, because most of New Paradigm are off the map. They're rather off the point. That'll be an uncontested camp to start things off.
Okay, we do have the triple DPS here coming out from New Paradigm. They've given up a tank, and Merit is going to go onto this Widowmaker. We've seen him have a great impact on it the last week when we were watching him. And can he get through Monster Shield Korea's defenses, though? That's a different question.
Currently, they haven't really gotten feet onto the point yet. Monster Shield is just keeping them at bay at this opening choke point. Looks like they'll continue to do so. Here comes that Coalescence throw from Beppo. No Coalescence from Velvet because he died. Lee J. Gon, look, we talked about Lee J. Gon the last time we saw Monster Shield, but he's just been an insane Lucio killing player. He does so much damage. He finds the kills. Man, Monster Shield, they find another fight win.
Yeah, unlike Hojin Ho there, who was just chasing the Winston there for such a long time, and eventually he just gets defeated by the Primal Rage, and they really need to confirm those kills, or he needs to choose his targets a little bit better.
Doesn't quite find anything. It's a little unfortunate for that pulse bomb from Perfect. That one looks a lot better though. Hojin Ho again doing the work for New Paradigm, supported by that Coalescence coming out from Velvet this time as well. But finally the picks come through. And no mercy on the side of Monster Shield Korea also suggests that there's not going to be any resurrections. Every single death is permanent. And with that, the cap finally flipped over.
Oh, don't count out Lee Jae-gong just yet. Well, they finally take him down, so they get up to 78%.
Cap finally flipped over.
That's where it's going to happen. Well, I mean, the start before that, Lucio managed to bump around a bit. It was actually a pretty quick fight. And often you can stall this out for a very, very, very long time. So they're happy that they've got a little bit of room to work with, a little bit of, you know, a safety net going forwards here. New Paradigm with a bunch of ultimates here. Let's see if maybe Iron can drop down unexpected onto Monster Shield Korea.
Right, it is a good start for Monster Shield considering the kind of distance they have, and with the rally and the kill onto Merit as well. They're starting to turn into an even better start for this team. Flex Velvet as well, man. Crazy is doing some work post-rally. Perfect this time. It's going to force out that Primal Rage from Frost, but Frost with that Primal Rage gets himself a kill to Beppo, so currently it's actually going in the way of New Paradigm slowly, and a lot of these ultimates on the Monster Shield side are not getting used, and if they are, we're not seeing enough value.
We just saw Froppy get so low and then happen to find that mega health pack, which once again just denies
rally to me.
Ash VK now, he's going in. He's got so much health though, he's not going to have to use this self-destruct to remech himself anytime soon. He might want to use it to push New Paradigm off the point though, as he's going to push Iron into the wall. He just makes him a painting.
It's going to be a lot of kills from Monster Shield, and they will collect that cap, but what's going to happen now is New Paradigm have potentially one fight opportunity because Monster Shield only got into the high 70%. That means New Paradigm can come back one more time. Monster Shield don't quite have that 90 yet. Final opportunity, but oh, they are going to push, so they are going to make sure that New Paradigm, if they want this cap, they're going to have to fight for it. We weren't at 90 before, but it's at 95 now. Somebody from New Paradigm actually has to dive for the point to continue the overtime, and they do. But how long can they continue this? Because the members are low. Primal Rage coming up from Frost.
Okay, Monster Shield Korea, they can keep going here. They've got Ash VK on the point, and he does have the self-destruct. He's been holding that for quite some time. New Paradigm are almost out of ults, and now they're going to be out of heals with Frost going down. That self-destruct finally comes to a huge fruition there.
It's just Hojin Ho remaining. He's not going to do much else. Ash VK, double kill with the self-destruct, finishing Hojin Ho, finishes the map. Monster Shield Korea taking down Lijiang Tower 2-0. Not even going to see City Center. We could say University was insanely close. Gardens, though, that was pretty much all Monster Shield.
And at one point in time in Overwatch, every team had that dedicated Lucio player. These days, it's actually a little bit more of a rarity. The ability to, you know, pull it out on the Lucio. You're expecting more of the Mercy, right, as that sort of staple main support. So the fact that Lee Jae-gon was doing such a good job there is very impressive.
I'll tell you what, it's a rare delicacy, and I enjoy it every time I do see it, especially when it comes out from such a skilled player like Lee Jae-gon. Yeah. The amount of kills the man gets on a Lucio is probably just the most what we've seen in this season in this region. Most likely because no other team really wants to commit to that much Lucio play. But again, Lee Jae-gon wants to pull it out. I'm happy to receive it. And with that Oasis going their way, 2-0, reasonably clean outside of University. This start is starting to go the way of what we expected. However, back in the CAG versus Incipient series, also was a fairly one-sided, well, fairly convincing game coming up from the Lijiang Tower series. But once we got into the second map, I wonder here if New Paradigm can do what Incipients did and actually get this 1-1 map score.
It's a tough ask. But hey, if Incipients can do it at this point, I'm willing to believe in anybody. No, wait, I'm the Scully. Cynicism.
Oh, well, we also have to see if Monster Shield can continue, because I would also like to see, you know, things go the way of expectation, but there is that nice surprise sometimes when things kind of turn the other way around. And we are seeing, especially on University, that's got to be the main talking point, because it could have possibly have been, in fact, maybe even should have been a New Paradigm win. But again, Monster Shield are just that much more of a clutch team who come out so strong when they needed to. Twice when you thought they were going to get pushed off the point and they were going to lose, they did not. And now Eichenwald coming into play.
Eichenwald. Okay, we've seen this be the side of one unlikely comeback already tonight, or at least, you know, possibly a comeback. It didn't quite come to fruition. No, it was a comeback. It wasn't a comeback. They didn't complete it, but it was a comeback. Okay, so now we're seeing New Paradigm here. They've definitely got a couple of players who can really come out and play, and I hope that we get to see them here on Eichenwald. This is a place where a Widowmaker can take over, and a player like Merit could come out and do some serious damage.
And I'd like to see if Ho Jin Ho continues to rein in, basically pull the reins on the team as well. He's been the main factor for New Paradigm. Merit's been good, but Ho Jin Ho, when things get really tricky, he's the man that comes on through. We see the moment where Perfect drops a pulse bomb, does nothing, Ho Jin Ho drops his, gets a double kill. This is the kind of difference we're seeing now in Tracer play, and on OWC specifically, especially on University, but definitely on Gardens as well. He was the guy to look at.
Unfortunately, I feel like he's being a little bit of a sacrificial lamb in some respects, because sometimes we're really seeing him just be a bait for the rest of his team, and we hope it's not going to be like that here on Eichenwald.
See how Iron does as well, his DPS partner, who's been playing the projectile picks. It's a pretty decent map for a Genji. But I am also somewhat concerned because we've seen Monster Shield career on these types of maps before, specifically Eichenwald, and the duo of Crazy and Perfect, and what they can pull out can be pretty insane. The good news for New Paradigm is, at least you got Lee Jae gone off the Lucio.
Small mercies. They're going to need something probably a bit more serious than that if they want to take out Eichenwald here. I'm sure that Lee Jae in the sky with Crazy is not going to give them any quarter.
Also, I want to be able to point out that Merit is currently out. I believe he's replaced by Teto for this map. We're going to just see Ho Jin Ho and Iron playing together.
So Ho Jin Ho taking over the Widowmaker duties then.
Well, as the hit scan play, we'll see if he can be as impactful on the Widow as he was on the Tracer. Because right now, there is a fire into the sky that he needs to deal with, specifically, if he can make that job easy for his life, for his team rather.
Looking a bit paranoid there, checking his corners as they go onto the point, and an early hook here will get down the main tank.
And a Nev down in a position that's difficult to resurrect, so Lee Jae attempting, probably not going to go for that one. A Beppo found in the wrong place as well. Velvet getting the hook into Lee Jae. Gets cleaned up by his teammate Ein. 2 out of 2 hooks, and both times on targets you really need. His hook's popping off right now, even collects the kill onto AshVK's mech and the Baby Diva. Off the back of that, double hooks into a couple of picks. That's all you need. The Velvet's got the ammo to spare.
Mate, those hooks were as smooth as velvet. They felt wonderful. Such an easy first point take there from New Paradigm. They don't sweat it at all. Damage boosted hook shot, doesn't find anything.
Right, so we're now going into
top of the castle.
Second phase here, where New Paradigm off the back of a one attempt on the A point. Got to keep most of their composition. Ho Jin Ho though, got to go onto the Tracer here. So again, bit of a comfort pick, but we know he's pretty good on it, so why not? Iron coming back into play, has to dodge that Dragon Strike straight away. That's actually going to give Monster Shield a decent amount of room to work with going into this next fight, holding up New Paradigm at the choke for Velvet. Again, just finding the hook that allows the D-Mech to come in, allows Iron to get the Dragon Strike to kind of push New Paradigm through this choke point, push Monster Shield off the cart, and now finally the cart is free. The cart is now moving through these streets. New Paradigm continue to push.
Monster Shield, they're scattered, and when you get into that really tight choke point at the gate, coming out of point 1, it's very hard to deal with a Roadhog. There's very little place to hide or juke a hook, and obviously his Scrapdun is doing maximum damage at short range, so he makes use of that, and we do see Velvet ready with the whole hog going, possibly ready to push some people off into the wilderness in Germany.
Where's this card going right now? Because it's nearly at the finish lane, and Monster Shield are not here to defend. While this whole hog comes out, they're going to be pushing more Monster Shield members away. And the car really needs to be stopped up. It has been paused, but a pause is not going to be good enough for Monster Shield because they need a full stop. They need a full reset. Velvet surviving the self-destruct, courtesy of the take a breather. Is this going to be a successful play? Hook comes out, gets dodged out finally. First hook we've probably seen miss from him. Crazy attempts to go onto Iron. Attempt failed, I should say. And now with this hook and kill, rather just a kill, it should be a cap. I say should, but there's a lot of Monster Shield players still alive.
Yeah, they have found a couple of trades, New Paradigm, but I don't think they're going to be able to reduce the health pools of these tanks quickly enough before the healers come in. Ho does remove the Diva mech, but he's going to exit out. He thinks the respawn might be in favor of them if he just backs off now. They're going to have a supercharger going into this next fight, AVRL. They have swapped a couple of other heroes, though. I would
expect Frost to not be on the roster here.
We obviously don't have the Roadhog anymore, right? And that's a... Oh, man, you grit your teeth when you do that. You've got a supercharger. It's such a fight-winning ultimate. To give that up is tough to do.
Oh, it's not fight winning when your team can't afford to run at a risk, sadly, and they're going to have to just, like you said, grit their teeth and kind of bite the bullet. And for New Paradigm, hope for better chances on this new composition, but they will need to charge brand new ultimates that they are so far away from when you consider the Monster Shield do have those. And with that, they don't even have to use the ultimates. They just use the pressure, they use the fact that they have positioning, and they win the fight through damage.
My ultimate is ready.
It's a pretty common way to win the fights, I suppose, through damage. You can get people off the point sometimes. Sometimes you can just make them leave by Infrasight. I guess that's one way to stall people out. However, ultimates could be the way that Monster Shield Korea push this next fight through New Paradigm. They've got a Valkyrie that could sustain them for a little while. It could keep Iron up in the sky.
So, that is where he wants to be playing right now. Dragon Strike going to come through on the side. No kills on the Dragon Strike, but kills coming from Perfect on the Storm Arrows. Forces that Transcendence. Now finally Monster Shield are going to be forced to use those ultimates. With a New Paradigm actually going to stay into this fight for the time being because they've survived said ultimates. They're just going to get past this Primal Rage. I'm not too sure if that's going to be a knockoff from that, but appears not to be. The only death for New Paradigm is actually Iron. Other than that, they're getting a ton of kills, and Monster Shield might not survive this.
No, and now that they've got the Transcendence from Velvet, I think they might be able to sustain through this. The Monster Shield players are getting pulled down one by one, dragged under the bridge, and finally they will get this battering ram through the door. The rocket powering up now. It pounds. They're knocking on the door of a full cap from New Paradigm.
New Paradigm can save a couple of those ults as well. Going to make one change from Iron on the fire onto the Junkrat, to the ground Farah, if you will, and Monster Shield Korea going to respond with their own Junkrat onto the ground. Both teams going to be running pretty much the exact same thing, minus a Nev onto the Reinhardt. A New Paradigm still with the momentum, looking to push through. Self-destruct will catch Lee J gone, and that's the opening. Beppo down as well means no Transcendence and no healers, no supports for that defense. And no defense and no survivors, it appears. Just crazy. And he's gone as well. New Paradigm continue.
And it was a drawn-out fight. They killed them one by one by one. So this means if Monster Shield Korea want to have to come back in here, they're probably going to have to pile out one by one. They don't really have much chance to group up.
Paradigm still have the... Oh my... Oh, okay. That did a lot of damage, and Perfect and Crazy killed that one in the morning. Beppo's going to join them in that morning. And it's not going to be pleasant. Iron has 4 kills in a row. Frost on the 5th one means there's only one player remaining. A couple of respawners going to attempt to make something happen, but wow. Huge shrink kills from New Paradigm, and deservedly so they will finish that cap.
This isn't like you're getting up in the morning, the birds are chirping, the sky is blue, and it's a brand new day. This is like you're getting up, you've had a couple too many, you take an aspirin and you're like, how am I going to get through this? That's the kind of day that Monster Shield Korea are going to deal with here after ceding a 1.5 minute time bank to New Paradigm.
And how am I going to get through this is exactly the position they're in right now for Monster Shield, because they are attacking. They are required to fully cap out Eichenwalde if they want to continue this map. Otherwise, it'll be a 1-1 series in New Paradigm as the underdogs, and as the underdogs have done so far this evening, pick up that one map. I should say, when I say this evening, I really mean the last match, because Xavier didn't get that map win. And that's what Monster Shield are looking for. They were looking for that 4-0 as well if they can.
Yep, as we pointed out, map's definitely more important for the end standings in Group A than they are in Group B. Monster Shield Korea not willing to give up anything here without a fight, and it's certainly going to be a fight for them to push all the way to point 3 in Eichenwalde. That's the minimum requirement for them continuing this map. Now, they are going to go for the Pharah on defense, it looks like. Coupled with the Roadhog, that means, of course, they will only have one healer. That's Froppy. We've seen how many times the Mercy gets caught out early on the defense here on Eichenwald, and then it's just, that's all she wrote.
So a new paradigm here. What they're going to get is a decent amount of poke damage. It's kind of what you'd expect in the same scenario. Sometimes you might see a Hanzo in Ein's position, sometimes you might see a Junkrat, but this flavor of the month for them at least, and the flavor of the map, it's going to be onto the fire, but there is still one healer. No matter which way you look at it, because there's only one healer, Froppy can't spend a lot of time in the air with Ein. He has to focus on the players onto the ground, which means Ein has to play somewhat solo. So see if he can manage that, because currently Monster Shield are pushing in very aggressively, so aggressively that 2 tanks are already going to be down. Make that 3 tanks, and Ein is now struggling as well. It's just DPSs, it's just supports, and it may not be enough.
And they've got the D.Va. This isn't a completely grounded composition. The D.Va can hunt those characters in the sky, and there we go. Seeing Froppy go down, and Ein will follow. Solid cap by Monster Shield. Korea. Okay, objective 1. Tick. They've still got 2 to go though, and with 5 minutes and 40 seconds, they've got the best chance they possibly could have of getting those next 2. It gives them a chance to match that time bank.
Well, it is pretty quick. It is pretty quick from Monster Shield, and they're going to make the second one even quicker, because that was where New Paradigm was somewhat slowed down. I do say somewhat very frivolously, because it was also that very long cap that New Paradigm was allowed to have, so we'll see if Monster Shield can be given the same sort of chances, and you actually see here from Frost, solo member going to lock up the cut. Because he's there locking up the cut, it's going to force Monster Shield all the way back. Their entire team that had that forward setup is going to now have to try and get that setup again, and they do manage to get Froppy, so there is a beginning.
There is a beginning. Will there be an end to this push by Monster Shield Korea? That's what New Paradigm are hoping for. There we go. A bubble will get only a small amount of energy over there for Perfect. It's an interesting pick, the Zarya here. There's so much verticality on the second point of Eichenwald that it's often hard to run this character.
Yeah, but it works so well in combination with you know, some of the other heroes here, especially the Ryan and Zarya combo. But again, you're absolutely correct. Where you do find that pick come through, the grab come through, it's directly onto the bridge. When New Paradigm all stacked up together, Froppy in the middle of that with the Valkyrie doesn't quite get a chance to use it. Probably best to not use it, and because of the fact that New Paradigm was so stuck together in one central space, and it's just perfect, you know, getting exactly what he needs.
So what you're saying, Inev, putting his shield up so he can see if they're going to come through this right place. He doesn't want to reveal to them that he's there because he wants to pop out and do an Earth Shadow really quickly.
That being said though, part of that shield kind of pokes through, so he's got to be a bit more careful next time around. Not going to need to do too much because the rest of his team members available to help do the damage. Soundbearer going to save his own life, going to pop up that damage, boost. Cap, like you said, coming through as well. 4 ultimates, I have to remind you, still available for New Paradigm, and they've yet to be able to utilize them. I'm, in fact, going to have to give up his just to swap to the Junkrat.
Yeah, there's definitely not enough room for Pharah to fly around in there. Froppy did use his Valkyrie in the last fight, so they're going to have to rely on the Transcendence if things get a little bit hairy on point 3. And with 5 minutes left, Monster Shield Korea, they're doing a great job so far.
Monster Shield Korea looking for the monster time on this Eichenwald A or rather C attack right now. Perfect with the opening kill. Ein does come back into play. We need to see these other ultimates being used. Frost is going to answer that call. Primal Rage into the mix. Let's see what he can find. A lot of low Monster Shield members that will finally be pushed out, and this is where you expect the defense to really dig in. And for Monster Shield, still with 4 minutes and 33 seconds remaining, it is a ton of time.
Inev finds his world inverted. He's upside down as he drops down into the river. But unfortunately, he's not looking to hike here today. He wants to go on a sightseeing tour of the castle, and he's got 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to do that. 3 minutes, really, if they want to try and go even with New Paradigm here, who are looking to make their hold on point 3 of Eichenwald.
Now let's see where this tire goes, because Betbo's currently trapped right now. Could be an easy target, and it is. But Crazy's response is so much better. He's found himself too. Doesn't even need a tie. Doesn't even have a tie. Perfect, by the way, did use the Graviton Surge, so this is where you can start to see some of those combos come out into play, and it didn't even require a second ultimate. Earth Shadow was used by Inev, by the way. So Monster Shield in a very good position to now complete this map. Ein with the Bastion going to attempt to make things interesting. Here comes that tire. Self-destruct. Not even going to have to use that tire. Look at the time. Monster Shield.
Wolf.
are just so far into the lead in this series.
Oh. Look at the time, Mr. Wolf AVRL. These guys are the Predators. They are waiting. They are waiting to just make their meal here of new Paradigm. They want to get on top of them. They've made a bonus of 2 minutes there. That's a very respectable Eichenwald push. I mean, so was new Paradigms, but now it pales in comparison to the extra time that Monster Shield Korea have to work with.
Monster Shield opened up the C push with 5 minutes, so they only took 3 minutes to do both A and B. They finished with 3:40 remaining, which pleases me to say they finished the entire map in 4:20. So right now, on this next defense for Monster Shield Korea, 3:40 left to defend. We need to see them really dig in because both teams have had some pretty good A offenses so far. And that's been kind of the driving factor for the team's ability to finish these entire maps. We've seen a lot of teams fail to complete Eichenwald, and a lot of that comes down to a failed A push that really cost too much time.
Yeah, it's definitely one where the defenders can snowball a little bit on Eichenwald. Once you have that trouble, you might find yourself under a bridge and living like a troll for quite some time. Perfect. Goes for that initial jump shot. He doesn't get that, at least he gets a little bit of a Venom Mine hit.
Goes hit straight up, and Paradigm right now. Looking for that flank, looking to see which way Monster Shield are going to react as well, but either way they go, Monster Shield do have to back up. It's with that new Paradigm finding some opening space. It's Goats versus Poke, which means Monster Shield have to keep rotating backwards. They have to keep disengaging while new Paradigm look to find this fight. If they get a brawl going, you'd think that Goats would win this composition. Do you think they'd win this fight rather, because a brawl would do so much for them. But with Perfect out of range, HVK out of range, suddenly their damage from Monster Shield comes through a new Paradigm. They have to be able to get way quicker picks, way quicker responses, and that's not the case today.
Beppo, what are you doing on the point there? Sorry, Velvet. This is a real problem here. He was pretty much the only person left on his team. They've got 40 seconds left. They need to regroup. He's trying to charge up a coalescence, I guess, maybe.
He's trying to die quickly by putting himself in faces of the opponents, but
if he had the fade, he probably could have got out, I feel like. Anyway, he's going to come back in with a coalescence this time. Maybe if he can find Crazy or Lee Jae Gong in the sky, he can help his team get at least this first point on their second push.
There's been a lot of coalescence used just to get New Paradigm onto the point, and the problem is New Paradigm probably didn't need that to get onto the point. They could have just walked on. Here comes that whole hog, assisted by the halt, completed by the self-destruct. This looks like a full hold right now. New Monster Shield Korea could have done this. The rally from Ide is probably not going to do enough. Rocket Brush from Crazy surely shuts the lid onto this offense. And for New Paradigm, no more members, no more time, no more chances. Round 3 complete. That's a full hold on A, and now 3 minutes, 40 seconds for Monster Shield to get 1/3.
One more chance on their defense, though. And it's going to be a slim one, 3 minutes and 40 seconds. As we just talked about, if you can get your defense rolling on Eichenwald first, you can snowball it a little bit there, okay? The spawn is just so far away, it's hard to deal with, and if you lose too many members in the fight, you may as well give it up, but they have no option but to try and defend here. Monster Shield Korea on the attack. They have an eternity, it feels like. 3 minutes and 40 seconds will just give them so many opportunities to take this second map and put New Paradigm in this situation they don't want to be in, one map away from defeat.
They're one step closer to defeat, and Monster Shield are one step closer to offense after that time bank defense was completed. And it does please me to see that a team will be able to complete a defense when required of them. Couldn't say that for Cyclops Athlete Gaming for the first 2 maps, but they did come up with that third one. Monster Shield. 340, surely you'd say that they'd be able to do this. 340, 1 tick. New Paradigm have to have a perfect defense. No flaws, no mistakes.
Yeah, that's a very high bar to set for this team who has looked competitive, but competitive doesn't win you maps. You need to be the better side. So the Goats composition coming out from Monster Shield Korea on the attack. And they will go up against a very divey sort of 2-2-2, but they do have a Hanzo and a Pharaoh.
Now the problem is, if you want to dive with New Paradigm, you're diving into Goats, where Goats will be favored The 3-3 composition that Monster Shield are running are so effective, but they need to get a Hojin Ho. The big factor here for New Paradigm is if Hojin Ho and Ein can get a lot of damage done, and Ein is certainly doing that damage right now, this is how they can snowball that defense. So it's a bit of a seesaw momentum swing, where for New Paradigm, their tanks are not expected to win that fight against the GOATS composition coming out from Monster Shield, but their damage dealers are also unopposed.
But what we saw was just some fantastic healing coming through from New Paradigm, despite the fact that they've only got 2 and not 3 healers. The pressure coming out from Monster Shield, Korea never overwhelmed Froppy and Velvet. That was a fantastic effort from them there.
This is an interesting thing. HVK actually found a long flank there, or rather he just remained there after his last team's attempt. But Beppo going down so early, and that's the weakness of GOATS, is if you lose your supports, of which 2 are down, it's just Lee J going, and he's going to go down. And so I know how much he wants to play the Lucio, but currently not having a lot of fun. Both these remaining TAMPs just going to get pushed off the side, and now 5 ultimates available for New Paradigm.
Okay, here we go. This is the snowball we wanted to see from New Paradigm. If you're hoping that they can hold here, 5, almost 6 ultimates now, they've just got to make sure they don't commit too many at any one time. 2, perhaps 3 per fight should be enough to close this out without giving up too much advantage. Any less than that would certainly be a boon.
The Master Shield, somewhat of a reset. Most of their heroes have changed. Gonna go for this dive, and they'd hope for a lot of ultimates used from New Paradigm. If they can get a bunch of ults committed, that would be somewhat of a victory. That being said, Hojin Ho going down early. Now you're in the position where Monster Shield could actually win through sheer damage, through sheer numbers, excuse me. Lee J gone for the sound barrier, Hojin Ho back to fight. Where are the rest of these New Paradigm ults?
Oh, and an amazing reflect there from Crazy. We'll find a direct rocket onto Ein in the sky. Another one will take down Hojin Ho here, and it looks like New Paradigm, despite having blown all of these ultimates, I don't think they can hold.
That is ridiculous. Crazy even lived. You saw his HP went to basically nothing. The plays coming through, perfect. Finds one, Beppo gets the other. Crazy's down. Beppo will join him, but it won't be enough for New Paradigm. The cap is so nearly there. Monster Shield Korea are about to do this. When it looked so dire, when New Paradigm had nearly 6 ults. In fact, they did have 6 ults. That isn't enough. The resources surely should have been enough to capture, or rather defend. And Monster Shield, again, the clutch plays. We've seen this on University. When they should not be winning, they're able to win. When New Paradigm should not be losing, they somehow lose. And because of that, we're going to be at a 2-0 for Monster Shield.
Clutch plays by Crazy. Some nice ones from Ein. This highlight here with the concussive mines at the end was a good one. But also the inability of these guys to get their ultimates out quick enough. Their New Paradigm didn't throw them out when they had the opportunity. A Dragon Strike through the choke as Monster Shield Korea are approaching something early where they can just get an advantage and then use the rest of those ultimates if they need to. But they go down first and the opportunity is wasted.
And you just have a number of picks coming through, and that's the capability of that dive comp. Again, giving MSK out that 2-0 lead, and for Monster Shield, you have players like Crazy, players like Perfect that can just thread that needle, find the picks when they need to. You got to think, you're in New Paradigm's shoes and you have the win in your grasp. And, well, things like this happen. Again, we've seen this on our previous map, except it was the favored team that was somehow unable to hold after having such a great defense. You even had forced Monster Shield into a near full compositional swap, no ultimates, and they came in and they won.
And at that point, I shrug my shoulders and say, look, if you can't push it through there, then it's not looking good for you for the rest of the series. At down 2-0.
We'll see if we can turn New Paradigm and Genome's frown upside down and into a smile after the break when we come back. The conclusion of our final series on Day 8, Week 4 of Contenders Pacific Season 2. We'll see you soon.